Today I'm going to be talking about what the effects of might Trump's second term might be on the economy of the U.S. and other countries. So let's start by one of his marquee major um, policy proposals that he talked about on the campaign trail a lot, which is his tariff policy, which he has also posted on social media about putting tariffs, increasing tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. Um, so let's just say, for argument's sake, that he gets this past Congress and it's approved, because Republicans hold the Senate and the House and the presidency once he gets sworn in January. In this hypothetical, there's only two options, two possibilities. One is prices for everyday goods and all the things that the U.S. imports, which is a lot of things. Um, Things that the U.S. imports from other countries. There, there's a lot of things that the U.S. imports, and these things would be either increase in price, so inflation in effect. There would be inflation on these products, or the other possibility is that the price margins and the profit rate on these products would go down for these corporations that own them. The profitability rate falling could only mean two things. They would either have to sell more of them, or to be able to make the same amount of profit, they would either have to sell more of them, or their their profits will go down. And if their profits go down, their stock prices would likely go down. Um, so, for argument's sake, if Trump does pass these tariffs, the U.S. does the most trading with Canada and Mexico, and China is not far behind. Um, So these three countries, if tariffs are 25%, like you said, and 35 on China, they would have drastic impacts on the economy as a whole. Either prices go up or the profitability rate of these corporations that own these products that are getting shipped to the US, their profit margins go down. Those are the only two possibilities. Now, if he doesn't get tariffs passed, and the Republicans stop him in the House and Senate because they don't like this idea. They're more free market oriented, capitalist type, not protectionist types. Um, then what would he be left to do? He might try to bolster the industrial base in the United States. He might try to do some policy geared towards bringing back manufacturing jobs and coal jobs to the U.S. How realistic this is, it's not clear, but I don't think the United States is going to be, the future of manufacturing in the world, just because the wages that people get paid here for manufacturing work is much higher than in many other developing countries where less money can get you a lot more in terms of rent prices, price of everyday goods. Everything is cheaper in a lot of other countries as compared to the US. Um, so yeah, those are basically my thoughts. If he scraps the federal income tax, which he talked about doing, and replacing that with tariffs, that he would not be able to make up the difference. There's no way that the tariffs he places on goods make uh, would be able to raise as much money for the government as federal income tax does every year for as currently implemented. So there would be more of a deficit in the government would be running a higher deficit than even they have in previous years, um, unless they scrap some other programs, Social Security, Medicare, these types of uh, you know, services, government services. If they scrap those, or if they lower, for example, the military spending a little bit, they might be able to make up the difference. I guarantee you they're not going to be lowering military spending. So if he does somehow scrap the federal income tax, and he's able to do that. Again, these are all hypotheticals. They're not, I'm not saying he will be able to do these things. He would probably struggle to get most of these things done, but it's just what he talked about on the campaign trail. If he gets them done, uh, it's a lot of things might change. I lean more towards there being more inflation and prices of goods going up. Um, but there's always a possibility that that doesn't happen. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one.